Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars and welcome to another of my PlayStation 4 reviews. Today's review is for Pathologic 2. Now, this is a game that I didn't know an awful lot about. I've not played Pathologic 1. It was a game that I saw come out in the PlayStation Store last week. It looked interesting. I looked at a couple of videos on it, a couple of reviews. And it sounded pretty interesting. And the game essentially focuses on you as a doctor. You are returning to the town you were born and grew up in. There is some kind of disease pandemic taking over this town stroke village. Pretty relevant these days when you consider the coronavirus, I suppose. And it is your job as the local doctor to try and figure out what is going on, because things aren't quite as they may seem. Now this game is a real oddity. I just honestly, I can't get my head around this game, and I've really tried to like it. I've tried to play it and understand it. I've put at least 5 or 6 hours into this, which I know doesn't sound a lot, but it is to me for a game that I just cannot click with. I can't click with this game. It's like a PlayStation equivalent of a Black Mirror episode. It's a weird oddity of a game. I mean, it throws you in at the beginning, gives you no explanation what is going on. You don't know what is happening, what you're supposed to do, who you're supposed to talk to. The narrative is lackluster at best, and that's for a reason. I think the idea is with this game they want you to basically figure it out on your own, but they don't give you anything to go on really with this game. I'm one of these people when I play a game. I'm not one of these that will grow into a game. It's got to grab me fairly early on and show me signs of what I've got to look forward to going forward. And then when it piques my interest and it grabs me either with the story or with some gameplay mechanics, I'm compelled to continue to play to get deeper into that game, deeper into that experience. And this game doesn't do that effectively at all. It just doesn't do it at all. It's just kind of, this is me, this is the game, like me or don't. And unfortunately I'm more in the latter category. I just don't like this game. I cannot enjoy it or get into it. Now I am aware that there might be somebody watching this that's a fan of A, Pathological, or B, this game, Pathological 2. And I'm sure there are people out there who are and do enjoy this game and games of this ilk, but I think as a gaming experience I don't think it does its job effectively, and I'll give you a few reasons why. I've already explained I don't think the story is compelling enough to grip you. There is very little voice acting to speak of. There is a little bit, but not dialogue. It's almost like when you go to talk to somebody, they'll give you a sentence, but it's not linked really to the dialogue that they're talking about and what you're going to respond to. It's all text based, and it's pretty dull stuff for the most part. There are gameplay mechanics tacked on here, like combats. You can fist fight people. There are weapons you can pick up and use, but they aren't done particularly well, and it feels terribly tacked on. The investigation side of it is poor. Now if you want to put investigation and mystery into your game, look at things like the Sherlock Holmes games, for example. Those games aren't brilliant and they're not top-notch games, but their investigation elements are spot on, and they draw you in and compel you to play it and try and figure out the mystery. This doesn't do it at all, this game. It doesn't. The investigation side of it, it's just like pick a clue up, try and find a clue, try and figure out what's going on, do these autopsies, and there's all this weird stuff. It's literally it's like a Twilight Zone episode at times. This thing, it's really weird and out there, and it's very dark and bleak. I mean, it's uncomfortably dark at times, in the sense of you can't see anything, and there are sections of the game where you don't have any light, or you might have a lamp but you can't light it because you don't have a match, and you can't see where you're going. And then when you do see where you're going, especially in the dark sections, it's just really bleak and dull and grim, and there's this haunting music playing through it. There's no let up. It's a depressing game, simply put, and I don't like playing games that are pretty grim and depressing. I mean, it is very, very unique, this game. I've not really played anything like this for a long time. It is different. So if you like different gaming experiences, then, you're going to enjoy this. But if you go into this thinking that what you're getting is a quite exciting, interesting story with some cool gameplay mechanics going on, you're going to be bitterly disappointed, I would suggest, because it's just not fun. I made a note when I was playing this game, where is the fun in this game? Gaming should be fun, and this game is not fun to play, unfortunately. And for me, it's way, way overpriced. In the UK, I think I paid, I'm trying to remember, I think it was $28.99. This is way overpriced for this game. $19.99, possibly $15.99, far more acceptable, I would suggest. This game is too overpriced for what it is. And the save system as well. What is going on with the save system in this game? Once you get past the opening section of the game and it saves, you've got to basically figure out where to go and save the game, and it's just, what is that all about? Everything this game does, it makes your life more difficult than it should be. It won't even make saving the game easy. It's easier to save games in Resident Evil, for God's sake, and that used to do my head in. So it's a totally mad, dark, mysterious game, this. But that would have been okay if the narrative thread had been a bit clearer. I don't mind figuring out things for myself, but give me some direction, give me some clue what I should be doing, where I should be going, because basically you end up wandering around in this game, wandering into buildings, and initially you can't loot anything because there's a little note comes up saying loot, and there's a red sign next to it kind of saying they'll know if you do it, kind of thing. And you're thinking, well, what's the point then, but then eventually you kind of think, well, I'm going to loot anyway because I can't find anything else to do. So you start looting, and then the town starts turning against you. And fair enough, it does warn you that they will know about it if you do it. So then you can't get into people's homes because they won't let you in because they don't trust you anymore. But it overly punishes you, this game, and it just, for me, I think it's a bit of a disappointment, bit of a letdown, and it's a pretty grim game to play. And I know I'm being pretty hard on this game, but I paid nearly £30 for it, and I just can't play it, so I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. That's me saying it's average, so I'm being reasonably kind to it. I don't think it's interesting to play. It's pretty grim and pretty much a letdown. So that's my review for Pathologic 2. I hope you liked it. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you back for more reviews very soon.